Okay, this is Massive Effect, massiveeffectmarketing.com. Howdy, my name's Kiram. We make your website go from this to this. All right. And we're taking a look at a Shopify store, a very fresh store, nice looking, clean, um, grinmat.myshopify.com. Let's see what we can do with this. To most people, this site looks good to go. Professional, crisp, clean, fresh, etc., etc. But if you want to rock and roll and actually make sales, it's going to need some more work done. And you wouldn't necessarily know this unless you were a marketer or a salesperson. But typically you would need to be a marketer who is also trained in web design. So what are we missing here? So first things first, we've got logo, good to go. We've got navigation, fine. Our value proposition is a little bit low. I'd like to move this up a bit. So this should get brought up so it's more front and center and commanding my attention. It could also be reworded a little bit. It's a little too short. A really good example of an amazing value proposition is over at Life with Paint. And the whole idea is you're telling people within the first 3 seconds of landing on your website that they are on the right website. That's why you have the value proposition. So the whole thing is we help you solve problem X with solution Z so you get desired result Y. All right, so over here, Life with Paint example, de-stress, that's the problem with the power of painting. That's the product slash solution. Take home a masterpiece you'll love. That's the end result. All right, it's super jam-packed. It's got everything in it, right? So if we look over here, play like a champion today, okay, we're in the zone, but it could be developed a little more. So let's develop this value proposition a little more, move it up so it's more front and center, and right where the eyes will meet, which is around here. Also, the call to action needs to be a nice bright contrasting accent color like this nice green. So let's get the shop now call to action button like that color there. White text with the green background. Moving on, this of course needs to be either removed or made into an actual promotion, but everyone would already know that already. If there are any trust logos, this would be the place to put them. All right, trust logos. It could be people who are carrying your products. It could be your partners. It could be memberships, associations, etc. Give some third-party recognition that you're a real company. All right, so if you can get anything like that, or it could be awards, all sorts of goodies, whatever it is, you need some trust elements put down here to show that you're the real deal. And of course, an example of that is past clients for this particular company, right? So we'll do some of that. Now this is this needs to be rewarded. That's a little too, how would I say, predictable. Everyone puts that. What you want to do is you want to actually put the photo of the owner. Photo of the owner, photo of the founder, maybe the CEO or supervisor, whatever it is. Put a real person on here so that people know this is a real website. Because these days anyone can make a website and you don't even know if it's a real company. People are very suspicious when they're online, and one of the key ingredients that people are missing in their stores, and especially in e-commerce, is actually putting a face on the company. I land on this company, I've never heard of them, right? Let's say I saw a post in the socials. Let's say I saw an ad on YouTube or a Facebook boosted post, GrinMat, I click, I'm here. I know because I'm a designer that this is a Shopify store right away, because I'm not only this, but this particular theme. So I know this is, a plug and play e-commerce store. I've never heard of the company. Am I going to do business with them? Probably not. I've never heard of them. I don't have any relationship or rapport. I don't trust them yet. I would rather go see if this is available on Amazon, because I know on Amazon that I can trust Amazon. So you're at a serious disadvantage when you're selling stuff online, when you're buying your Shopify store or your Wix store or WordPress, whatever it is, Squarespace. Yeah, you can make it look like a normal website, but when someone lands on here, they're going to know it's another one of these, um, you know, how would you say? It's just another one of these e-commerce stores that you can whip together. How do I know I'm going to get my product? How do I know you're a real company? How do I know it's not a scam? So one of the things you can do with that is to actually put a real person and put their name and put a little hello from them. All right. Let me show an example of an execution on that. Oh, here we go. We could throw in the name, that would be better. But here is a picture of one of the owners for this company. Make sure you don't put stock photography. That would be treasonous. If you put, "Hi, my name's Bob," and then you go over and get some stock photo for whoever Bob is. Make it real. Put a real person. That's your disadvantage when someone lands on a site like this. They don't know you. They don't trust you. They don't know if they're going to get the goods. So you need to really just build as much trust as possible. And that's just one of 12 different points where you're going to need to build trust on. Okay, so I think we covered that one to death. We've got collections. This is great. However, there's a lot going on in these photos, and the wording is basically what we need to see is the category: t-shirt, hoodie, and new. But we can't see that because the photo is competing for attention, and also the heading here is bolder and larger than that. So I'm not even seeing the actual category. I'm just seeing photos. You've got to redo this. This text needs to be dominant, all right? And the other parts need to be smaller, and you need to darken the backgrounds. This needs to pop, all right? Hoodie needs to be what people see, not collection and photo, all right? You want to send people to the right product. So that needs to be done. All right, we've got some products, that's fine. We've got kind of an emotional moment here, feeling the vibe, more products. We have some goodies down here, kind of a mixed bag of, we've got, secure shopping, easy order, kind of like handling objections a little bit-ish. So that's kind of decent, I like that. That should be moved up further, to be honest. And a footer. So we're missing quite a bit. It's very product heavy. It's not really talking much about the prospect and so on. So what we need to see is that customized welcome with a real person. And then I also want to see a case study of someone who's bought some of this stuff. And maybe case study is a little too formal of a word, but a story, a customer story where they got the shirt or the hoodie and they're happy with it. It's as simple as that, right? It could be a kid who plays sports and it shows him with the product, and he's a real kid, and he's writing some words. So it's kind of like a testimonial, but it's more like a little story. Put a little paragraph in there, and showing people wearing / using your product in the circumstance that is appropriate, right? So doing some sports, something like that would be useful, because there's just too much stock going on, right? It's a stock photo here. It's stock photos here. It's photos of the product, which is okay, fine, but more stock here. Product photos. I don't see any photos of realness, of reality. I want to see some photos of happy people wearing these products and doing the stuff that these people are doing. So playing sports, right? A really good example, although it's different, is over here. Come on down, and they just got some photos of folks with their product, right? Yay, they're happy, and they've got the book. You can tell these aren't stock, obviously, right? But that goes a long way in authenticity. This obviously isn't fake, right? And when we land here, we know that this is probably stock. These aren't real. These are all stock photos. So let's get some more realness happening on here, all right? Another thing was we really do need to take up the objections of, I've never heard of you before. How do I know I'm going to get my stuff? And where is your stuff made? Those are three pretty solid objections that someone would have. I've never heard of this company. I typically don't buy stuff from companies I don't know. How are you going to reassure me that I'm going to get my stuff? So that's a big hurdle to cross. Let me show you an example of some objections, right? Not sure about painting? Well, here's what you might be thinking. Never painted, it won't be fun, I don't want to leave home. So you do it like this with a nice section, 1 row, 3 columns, heading, description, objection, handling, like that. That would go a long ways in building some more trust over here. I also don't even see any testimonials or embedded reviews. So some embedded reviews is something like this, right? Direct from Facebook, direct from, who else could you use for an online store? Potentially Trustpilot, but that costs a lot of money. If you have an actual brick and mortar address, you can use Google My Business. Facebook is pretty much your best bet. Either way, we really need some testimonials on here. Maybe they don't have a lot of orders yet, but we got to build more trust. That's the one thing that's missing on this homepage here. There's not enough trust elements. And maybe they just went live, and that's going to be very hard if you just went live and you don't have anything yet. For instance, he can't say he's been around since 2003, right? Because let's say this site just went live, so you couldn't use something like that. You can't say you've sold 10,000 t-shirts, right? So you have to work with what you've got. But there's still some things you could do. One thing, it's really hard though when you've got a fresh store and you don't have any of what I just talked about, right? You haven't done many orders, you haven't been around for years, you don't have a lot of testimonials. It's like, good Lord, the cards are not in your favor. One thing you can do to differentiate yourself would be to make a little section down towards the bottom and do some of that social responsibility. Take your new little company here and go out in the community and do some helpful things and help people. So, right, they're making cool sports goodies. Well, they should go donate some to the local, I don't know, shelter for kids or something, disadvantaged kids. And then they can put at the bottom of their site that they're doing some good things in the community. They can take a little photo of some of the stuff they're doing, or they can, do some program and teach disadvantaged kids sports, something appropriate with their company, right? That would go a really long way in building some trust and legitimacy. Over here at Massive Effect, we're doing something like that. We are partnered with Polaris, a rescue team that makes first responders, right? So when you buy a marketing package, we train a first responder, right? Hot stuff, turning victims into rescuers, saving lives. So this is very potent, right? This is good. Social responsibility. The company is going out and helping others. So, if you can't put statistics, you can't put testimonials, you don't have a whole lot of other things you can add, well, minimally you can go do some stuff in the community and put that on your site. And that would be something you could do to build some more trust. And that would be a good move. And yeah, there are some other points, but we're not going to go on and on and on forever. The main thing is you're starting at quite a disadvantage when you have a store that isn't known and hasn't been operating yet. So it's all about setting expectations and also having budget to do massive promotion. All right. You really need to have it in your mind that it's not something that you just make and you're going to do free. You're just going to make a store for free and you're going to promote it for free and you're going to get a bunch of sales. That's only going to work if you just message all your friends and ask them to buy your stuff. They know you and they trust you, so they're going to buy it. But as far as strangers coming to your store, you really need to build that rapport and show yourself as trustworthy. Another thing you can do about that is by providing free knowledge, right? That's a classic maneuver. Downloads, ebooks, checklists, video courses related to your area. So it would be sports related, right? Anyway, long story short, some work to be done on this site, even though you might look at it and think, oh, this is fine, it's good to go, it's normal, this is It's a nice store. Well, it's not going to sell anything unless it overcomes the hurdle, literally, jumps the hurdle of building trust and legitimacy. So if you want your site to have trust and legitimacy and therefore get those sales, get those dollary dues, come on down to massiveeffectmarketing.com. We rock and we roll. Been doing it since 2003. Very few web developers and marketers have been rocking since that time. So come on down, show us your website, put it in the comments. Put the domain, put the URL in the comments, and then we can do a little video, tell you what's good with your site, what's bad, and then you can pimp it out, make those modifications, and start getting those sales increasing. All right? So come on down, massiveeffectmarketing.com, and put your website in the comments. All right? So until then, thank you very much, and take care.